Okay, if you see in CRR and SLR, okay, so no doubt on one side I'll write SLR, okay, on another side I'll write CRR, okay, on one side I'll write SLR, on other side I'll write CRR, okay. Now if I talk about SLR, so in SLR, whatever deposits that banks have, whatever deposits that bank have, that is in the form of DL plus TL, that is in the form of DL plus TL, okay. So whatever deposits that bank have, that is in the form of DL plus TL, okay. So they have to maintain certain percentage of DL and TL, okay, DL and TL with themselves, means with banks itself, that is known as SLR, okay, that is known as SLR. Now in some books the term net deposit is written, but here I will tell you that you don't have to go much in detail. Why? Because if you see the previous year question, UPSC has never asked what is net deposit, what is total deposit, okay. So for a timing, or you can say for exam, you just have to remember that certain percentage of deposit that banks they have to maintain with themselves, that is called as SLR, okay, that is called as SLR, okay. Whereas when you talk about CRR, so you can say certain percentage, okay, certain percentage of deposit that banks have to maintain with RBI, that is called as CRR, okay. So this is, first you must know that in both the cases you are maintaining certain percentage, okay, in both the cases you are maintaining certain percentage, okay. So if certain percentage, okay, if certain percentage you have to maintain with yourself, with the bank itself, that is called as SLR. Whereas when certain percentage of deposit has to be maintained with RBI, okay, that is called as CRR, okay. So this is the first thing, okay. But again I am telling you that in some books it is written like this, that percentage of total deposit, okay, total deposit, okay. So that is known as CRR, that is maintained with RBI. Now what is total deposit is? Total deposit is nothing but demand liability plus time liability, okay. Now what is net deposit? Net deposit is your total deposit minus interbank transaction, okay, total deposit minus interbank transaction, okay. So when you subtract this from that, it will come net deposit. Now what is interbank transaction? If suppose SBI has given money to the PNB, okay, if SBI has given money to the PNB, that is known as interbank transaction, okay, that is known as interbank transaction. So you have to subtract that from the total deposit, and whatever comes out to be, it is net deposit, okay, it comes out to be net deposit, okay. Now can you tell me, so if you see in SLR, sometime in books it is written like this, that is the percentage of net deposits that banks have to maintain itself, that is called as SLR. Whereas in CRR it is written like percentage of total deposit that banks have to maintain with RBI, that is called as CRR, okay. So this is what first you have to remember. Clear? So this is what is the first thing that you have to remember, okay. But again I am telling you, don't go in this detail, because this is not required for your exam, okay. This is, you can say, when you are preparing for banking exam, then you have to go. So ultimately you remember that percentage of deposit that banks maintain with RBI, that is CRR, and percentage of deposit that you maintain with banks itself, that is SLR, okay. Now next what you will see, that when we talk about SLR, okay, so right now, for example, right now SLR is 18%, okay, whereas CRR is around 4%. Okay, so no need to remember the percentage. Now it means whatever deposits bank have, they have to keep aside some money from that. So for example, if suppose bank has 100 rupees as a deposits, okay, if suppose bank has 100 rupees as a deposit, so it means out of that 18 rupees they have to keep aside, okay, as SLR. Now this, okay, this 18 rupees, okay, they maintain in this 18 rupees they maintain in three major forms. Number one is cash, number one gold, and number three RBI approved securities. RBI approved securities. So you have to maintain in these three forms: cash, gold, and RBI approved securities. Similarly, if bank has 100 rupees, okay, and they have to maintain CRR, it means 4 rupees they have to give it to the RBI. So this 18 rupees is with banks itself, and they are maintaining it in three forms: cash, gold, RBI approved securities. Okay. Now when it comes to 100 rupees, from this they have to maintain 4 rupees as CRR. Okay. Now they will give it to the RBI. Now this they will give in the form of cash. Okay. This they will maintain in the form of cash. Clear? Is it here clear? Okay, till here it is clear to everyone. Please tell me. Please tell me, is it clear to everyone? Okay. Now, one student is asking, sir, do RBI return the CRR? Okay. No, RBI does not return CRR. Okay. So RBI returns CRR only in one case: if your deposit get decreased. So if suppose right now my deposit is 100 rupees, okay. So ultimately I have to maintain 4% of that as CRR, that is 4 rupees. If suppose my deposit become 50 rupees, okay, so it means as per the new deposit, okay, as per the new deposit, my CRR will be 2 rupees, okay. So assuming that 4% of 50, okay, so then RBI will return your 2 rupees. Clear? RBI will return your 2 rupees. So ultimately it depends on your deposit. Okay. So if your deposit get reduced, okay, then it is returned, otherwise not. Okay. Now, no doubt, deposit is a variable. Deposit is a variable means deposits are going to change, you can say, on a daily basis. That is why every bank has to maintain SLR and CRR on fortnightly basis. Fortnightly means after every 15 days. But sometimes RBI wants that you must maintain it on weekly basis also. Okay, that depends on the RBI guidelines. But fortnightly you have to maintain it. Okay, so you can say these SLR and CRR is maintained on the basis of, or maintained fortnightly basis, that is after every 15 days. So it means whatever is the deposits we have, okay, whatever is the deposits we have, okay, or you can say on 15th day, according to that you have to maintain SLR and CRR. Clear? Now one student is asking, sir, in that case bank may go bankrupt assuming large amount. Okay. We'll talk about bank rate, don't worry about it. Okay. Clear? So this is what you have to understand. Now, if you see my another question to you, if suppose UPSC asks you what are RBI approved securities, what will be your answer? If suppose UPSC asks you in prelims, what are RBI approved securities? Or you can say what RBI approved securities include. If suppose question is this, what RBI approved securities include, what will be the answer? Please tell me. Okay. What is RBI approved securities? So if you see RBI approved securities, what RBI approved securities include? Please tell me. No answer. Only 1 or 2 students are answering. What about others? Okay. So if you see RBI approved securities, although we'll talk about these things in detail in capital market and money market, government securities, or you can say dated government securities. So we also call this as dated government securities. So you can say whenever government needs borrowing for long term, means more than 1 year, so they issue dated government securities. Okay. Similarly, there is treasury bills. Treasury bills. So in short, we call it T bills. Okay. So we'll talk about these terms in capital market and money market. Number 3, there is cash management bill. Cash management bill. And number 4, there is state development loan. State development loan. Okay, so these 4 are recognized as RBI approved securities. Clear? These 4 are recognized as RBI approved securities. Okay, so these 4 are RBI approved securities. Now here remember that from these tools, either center government or state government, like if I talk about these first 3, dated government securities, T-bills and cash management bill, through these 3 tools, or you can say through these 3 RBI approved securities, Government of India is taking borrowing. Okay, whereas through state development loans, state government is taking borrowing. Okay, now similarly, we have a concept of municipal bonds. Municipal bonds, through municipal bonds, local government used to take the borrowing, but municipal bonds are not RBI approved securities. Okay, municipal bonds are not RBI approved securities. So this is what you have to remember. Okay, so municipal bonds are not RBI approved securities. Clear? So I am writing it here. That remember, municipal bonds are not RBI approved securities. So this can be your question. Okay, this can be your question that they will ask you which of the following are or recognized as RBI approved securities. So if in that municipal bond will be written, so definitely chances will be like this, ki you thought that through municipal bond local government is taking borrowing, so it will be RBI approved security. No. Whereas these 4 are RBI approved securities. Okay. So ultimately whenever any bank has to maintain SLR, that has to be maintained in these 3 forms. And if they are putting money in RBI approved securities, if they are putting in money in RBI approved securities, it means they are getting interest over that. Okay. So it means like out of 18 rupees, for example, 8 rupees they have invested in RBI approved securities. It means now government will give them interest. Okay, so whatever 8 rupees they have kept, so they will get interest over that 8 rupees. Okay, so you can say government will return them more than 8 rupees. Okay, so ultimately in RBI approved securities, government will get interest. Sorry, banks will get interest. Banks will get rate of interest. So again I am saying that in RBI approved securities, banks will get rate of interest. Similarly, in gold, you have to remember 2 things. In gold also. So for example, from out of 18 rupees, 8 rupees you put in RBI approved securities, some 4 rupees or 5 rupees you put in gold. So gold also, so whatever amount of gold you purchase, so its price is going to increase every year. Okay. So first of all, remember that they are not going to, or bank is not going to purchase the jewelry. Bank is going to purchase gold bars. Okay. Gold bars. So the price of gold bar will increase every year. Number one. Number two, if suppose any bank is not interested to purchase gold bars, so remember this thing, they can also put money, the same money in sovereign gold bonds. Okay. They can also put money in sovereign gold bonds. So remember two things. First of all, they will put money in gold bars. Okay. And prices of gold bars will increase every year. Okay. So price increase every year. So ultimately, when I am saying price increase every year, it means if suppose today I purchased gold bar of, you can say X rupees. So next year its price will be more than X. So whatever it has been increased, that is the rate of interest for the banks. Okay. So you can say they earn more. Okay. Second, they can also invest in sovereign gold bonds. So can I say that these sovereign gold bonds are also RBI approved securities? So these sovereign gold bonds are also. So please update this thing. I am 101% sure that you does not have this thing in your notes. Okay. So please tell me how many of you know this thing. Please tell me genuine. And if you don't know, so please tell me, sir, I don't know this thing. Sovereign gold bond concept. Okay. So RBI approved securities. So if you don't want to put money in gold bar, you can purchase sovereign gold bond also. Clear? Okay. So one student is asking, sir, the interest from the RBI approved securities come from CFI. Okay. One student has written, sir, IDK. Good. आजकल slang का जमाना है. Okay, IDK. I don't know. Okay, very good. Okay. करण कह रहे सर नहीं लिखा था ये. अब लिख लो करण, अपडेट कर लो. Okay, गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी के बारे में करण हम करेंगे बात. Okay. Okay. So one student is saying, sir, does interest from RBI? See, beta, it is logical question, common sense question. If bank has you can say given money, or you can say given money for purchase of government securities or treasury bill, or you can say cash management bill, so then interest will be paid by central government and it will come from CFI. Okay. And if it is state development loan, so in that case also you can say interest will be paid by the state government, so it will come from state consolidated fund. Whereas in sovereign gold bond, if you have invested in that, okay, so here interest will be given by again government of India. Okay. So ultimately, except state development loan, interest will come from consolidated fund of India. Okay. Whereas for state development loan, the interest will come from consolidated fund of states. Clear? Clear? So this is what you have to remember, that in these two, okay, that is gold and RBI approved security, interest will be there. But when you put money in cash, so in this there is no interest. So in this there is no interest. Clear? In this there is no interest. Okay. So ultimately this is what you have to remember. Okay. Whereas whatever money you have given to the RBI in CRR, there also RBI will not give you, RBI will not give any interest. RBI will not give any interest. So this is what you have to remember. Okay. This is what you have to remember with respect to this thing. Okay.